Hotness. What is the best part of accountability?
The best part of accountability, that means you're the problem. If you're the problem, that means you're the solution. That's like the best outcome there is.
You can change you, but you can't change others?
Correct.
Is that what you're getting at?
Yeah. Speaking of change, babe, how do you feel about habitual
What,
behaviors?
She stopped in front of you.
Yeah, thank you.
That's a habitual behavior.
That is.
I feel like habitual behaviors are a problem. I believe that anything that you learn can be unlearned, and I think that it's twice as hard to break a habit than it is to reinstill a new one. But learning to break habits in the moment, like correcting a dog when they're doing something wrong, or when you're negative self-talking, stopping yourself and rephrasing, can reestablish new behavioral patterns to correct the shit that you are responsible for. I believe that a lot of that shit's trauma responses and how we've survived in really shitty situations. But ultimately, there's nobody to blame for that but you. Even the people who traumatized you and did what they did what they did. And if that happened when you were young or it happened when you were old, it happened. You holding on to that shit and those behavioral traits is a you problem, not a them problem. All right then, Hotness, how do you feel about people who choose to live in a victim mentality?
Oh man, that's a big one. I think the victim mentality is used to continue to garner sympathy for their existence. I think that it is a survival mechanism. I believe that the victim mentality is a group of people who have been abused, who are becoming abusers, to maintain a state of existence. And all of it is fed by brokenness and not maliciousness. All right, Daddy, so how would one break that?
By realizing that you're the problem.
Oh, hold on, look at full circle.
Yeah. Honestly, therapy. Realizing that other people's actions don't get to dictate your existence, and you basing your life off of the actions of others essentially makes you a slave to their will.
Yeah.
And I don't like the idea of being a slave to anything, so doing the dirty work, the shadow work as Young called it, there's just a lot that goes into that. I think that having compassion and empathy for others will go a long way, and trying to do for others instead of self will teach you that empathy and compassion. That's a lot. There's a lot to that question.
I agree.
I think ultimately realizing that you're in control of your own life and that you're responsible for change. Fake it till you make it if you have to, because that will establish a new behavioral pattern.
Yep. New habits.
Yep.
I think that people also become slaves to validation, abandonment, craving of attention, and all those kinds of things. I think breaking that as well and finding happiness within you and the solace within yourself will help that.
I agree. Adlerian psychology speaks on the need for validation from others actually making you a slave.
Yeah.
That's where the lack of self-worth comes from.